Hey guys, I'm Verlin and Godot 4.4 Beta 1 just got released. It's a pre-release, there will be bugs. I already found a couple. For example, I cannot figure out at all how to resize this game screen. This is a new feature, by the way. So I'll be going over all the different features that I think are kind of good, like my top features of the new version of Godot 4.4. But first of all, let's go into some bugs. So for some reason, pop-ups, like the tooltips, they just keep disappearing on me. Also, when I run the new game screen, for some reason it's out of the window. If I make this bigger, it's especially noticeable. Yeah, I know it is a pre-release, so bugs are supposed to happen, but I quickly wanted to mention these things. So yeah, it's not stable. It's not stable yet. There are bugs that still need to be squished, but yeah, it's a pre-release, so what do we expect? But first of all, first feature that I want to talk about is this game screen, because I kind of like that it's inside of the editor itself now. This allows you to, by example, select the 2D things and select the nodes by themselves. You can change things on the fly. I think that's kind of good that you can like play your game and select certain nodes to see like what are their properties and such. That's what I will be using it for. Then feature number 2, particles. Apparently this was not really implemented, so right now you can't really see things very clearly, but if we reduce the amount, you can see the outline of the place where they will be appearing. So I set this, if I can find the property again. So I set it to go on the sphere surface, but you can change this to anything. You can change this to a box and you will get an outline of where they will be appearing. Like I put the lifetime kind of high, so let's put the lifetime lower so we can see. So they will only be appearing in this area. Seeing this outline is something I did not actually know about this until I read the whole blog post. But in Godot 4.3, this is not the case. You don't see where particles are going to end up in. So if I change this to box, for example, there is nothing. Like, yes, you have your like main box of like where particles will appear in, be visible in, but you don't have any way of knowing where they will actually appear, which is kind of, yeah, strange, I think. Then another feature that I really like, typed dictionaries. I can kind of tell in here already. So I made a typed color dictionary. So if you look at the code, so I have a normal dictionary, a typed dictionary, and a typed color dictionary. So the normal dictionary, yeah, it's just a very simple one. And here is how you can type it. So first you have your key, comma, and then the value of that, and that falls under that key. For this, I created a small script called test. It has a variable called works. And then we have a typed color dictionary. One of the things that they needed to change, and something that I wasn't aware of, dictionary values, like the keys, were always strings. Now it's not always a string anymore. So if you go to the normal dictionary, you can see it's kind of, yeah, everything that you want it to be. And then in the typed dictionary, you basically, well, the value was an integer. Something that I found, so I have default values for these set up. Like here, they don't show up. So this is another bug that I found. I don't know what's up with that. But yeah, anyway, one of the biggest benefits about these type dictionaries is, for me personally, autocompletion. So if we were to take our dictionary and we want to get the value of tests. So we take key 0 and now we do, whoops, dots. Yeah, it just does not do any auto-completion. Like we can do this and now run it and it will, oh, whoops. For some reason it does not, oh wait, that's because of this strange bug. So if I run it now, yeah, it really does work. So it does not have any auto-completion, and that's kind of annoying, especially if you have all your values set up on GD script. So if you go to debug GD script, if you set these on 1, this could print an error. I don't know why it does not do it this time. Maybe another bug, but yeah, let's just continue. But then we have our typed dictionaries. If I go 0, and now I try to type, we directly get the auto-completion works. And I know this is in my own, this is in NeoVim, not in the Godot editor. If you were to do this in the Godot editor, now it will also auto-complete because it knows what type it's expecting. So it knows which variables and what is possible with the value that you will get if you get a, well, try to get a value from a type dictionary. So yeah, we can just do this, auto-complete it, and voila, this should work. And I don't think we need this anymore, so... Then, two other features that I really like are warning, ignore, start. And then we just add the value. If I don't do this, and I remove this one as well, then we see we have return value discarded errors. I don't want to, like, especially for connects, if I were to add a signal and connect to that signal, it would also give this whole return value discarded, because oftentimes it prints a integer to let you know how things went. But yeah, this just returns an auto stream off. I just put this here as a test. But yeah, warning ignore start and warning ignore restore to like get rid of these errors. So if I were to put this here, the error would, well, the warning would pop up again. Something that we had to do before was add warning ignore, and then we do return value discarded. I don't know why, but auto-completion was working for, well, is working for this in 4.3, but it's not working inside of 4.4. So I don't know what they did differently with this thing. But yeah, anyway, if you add just a warning ignore, it just counts for the next line underneath it, not for this one. So that's why this whole warning start, warning ignore, restore is kind of helpful. I think the whole colors are off because of the language server thing that I'm using in my editor. It's not up to date to Godot 4.4 yet, so yeah, don't worry about the colors being slightly off. But yeah, then we come to the last feature that I kind of like and I wish was there earlier because I had to implement my own Fugozen. But audio stream WAV, I don't know why this was not the case yet, but I noticed this when working on my video editor. You could not load a WAV file after opening your project. It was not a thing. So now we have load from file and load from buffer. So create a new audio stream instance for the given file path, but you can also load from buffer, and then it just requires a packed byte array. This is helpful. I don't know how this was not here before in Godot. And did I write exciting wrong? Maybe. Also, a fun little thing. This kind of like a pop-up with like the information of the function. I've been used to this because of my editor, but apparently in Godot, in the script tab, that was not possible. Now, if you hover over something, you get like this pop-up. I don't know why this was not a thing yet. And also, how does this open? Normally, this is not supposed to open. Okay. So debug with external editor. That's another thing that I really wish they would fix. So debug with external editor. This is also yeah, from the previous versions. But if you have an external editor setup, if I can find it, external, use external editor. If this is on, I feel like debug with external editor should also be on, because it does not really make much sense to have, yeah, on every single new project. This is causing issues for me. But yeah, anyway, let's go over the other features, because there's kind of a lot. If you look in here, there's a little bit of everything. There are some breaking changes. First of all, the whole game screen thing, I think it's good. I hope they do fix the issues that I've been having with this, because it's not 100% useful for me for working on Gozen, by example. At this stage, maybe the next more stable versions will solve those issues that I've been having. Next up, Apple controller improvements. Apparently that's the thing, to these shaders. Then the visualization of 3D particle emission shapes. So the thing that I showed you. There is some other stuff, transparency support for light map, GI. Some breaking changes, because like there's the whole UID thing. If I go into my files, you can see there's now, so my scene, my scripts.uid. All scripts will be having a UID file. Yeah, it's a thing. I find that it kind of makes my folders a little bit too busy, but I never really use these things anyway, these UIDs. Yeah, oh well. So there are kind of a couple of things. I won't go into details. There's some animations updates, the audio thing that I talked about the buff files, some C# stuff, some core stuff like the type dictionaries. Like we had packed int arrays, like typed arrays, packed int, packed float, packed bytes. But the type dictionaries, it's something that I personally really want because I want the auto-completion. The editor, it's again about the game screen. GD script, now you have an add export tool button. Kind of helpful, I've never really used it. The warning, ignore start, ignore restore. That's something I will use a lot because, yeah, I put all of these things on warn me. Some import changes, some input changes, navigation, physics. Then for physics, there's the Jolt physics that got implemented inside of Godot. But this is not 100% up to date. Like, it's not the default yet. So, yeah, there's still not 100%... it's still not 100% feature complete. Well, feature complete? I don't know how to say, but there's things missing or like not 100%. Yeah. Anyway, if you like physics, give this a read. And then for platform stuff, you have Linux. Apparently, there was no camera support for the Linux platform. Something I had no idea about, but I guess that it's good that it exists now. And then some Android stuff. Yeah, I have not really done much Android stuff in the last couple of months, so some rendering and shader stuff. Like I said so. There's a lot. There's also some XR stuff, another area that I have not really touched yet. And then as always, you can have the interactive, where is it? I don't know, there's like an interactive button for like the changes. Okay, interactive changelog, which opens this thing. So you can see all the things. And if we do Control F and we go for a rich text label. And if you go to the last one in the, like the last rich text label thing, this issue is one that I made, yay! I committed something to 4.4. The main features that I'll be using are the typed dictionaries and the warning, ignore, start, and release. Those are the only things that I really care about. The particle thing is nice, but yeah, I don't really work on games yet, so yeah. And a big thanks to my Ko-fi supporters. Without them, I would not be able to work on videos like these and work on the upcoming tutorials, Godot tutorials, so stay tuned for those, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye!